There we go. I don't really have anything like scripted or anything, but I'm gonna go over the map for you guys with my knowledge of it, and then I have Fathom here, who, if you don't know, is the pyro for TS. He's one of the best pyros in the game and has a lot of experience. And then I have Fixer here as kind of my guest speaker, who will give us how he plays. He tends to play very different than me, and he has a ton of pyro experience. Pretty sure everybody's played Badwater 100,000 times in pubs. So a lot of that stuff is fairly similar. However, like where Fixer is, on your first point is going to be where the engineer is going to build. I would say 99% of the time. So this spot is pretty important to know. And then your pyro and combo will be up here. The demo and soldier should be pushed up more, keeping pressure on. Because ideally, you always want your sentry to be the last line of defense. So as a spy, you're gonna have a little bit of trouble getting to it, especially initially. But if you can time it with the push, that's usually the best time to sap it. The other thing to consider is that the scout should be in the tunnel, keeping an eye out, and your soldier will be in the usual spot that you see over here. You'll be coming over to the tunnel, so you want to be careful in going through there as well. If nobody's watching the tunnel, then your demo can just walk through and stick you up here and kill the sentry. That's, I guess, good for you. There's a lot of places to jump around. I don't know if you guys are familiar with all the shortcuts here. You can jump around up there and kind of come down and harass. A lot of times on defense, I like to use the Dead Ringer on this map. I know a lot of other spies do. If they're really aware, of course, IW or CND. A lot of spies like to camp over here. It's really common. I tell my teammates to check it every time, so I really can't do it for you. The other thing is like up on this rock. If I can do it.
May I make a suggestion?
You can jump up here. A lot of spies like to camp up there, but sometimes your shadow will actually bleed through in here. Like, oh, my sprays are turned off. You can actually spray on the inside of this wall, and you'll see it bleed right through, which shows like how easily things bleed through there. So it's another kind of iffy spot. Some of the shortcuts you can jump up on this ledge. You can jump over to this other concrete ledge there and actually get up here and jump all the way up there. Yep, just like that. It's actually kind of a handy shortcut. Run around the long way, they can camp that. Another spot you can get up is right here, these little rock fields. You can get up here, and then you can actually get all the way up here. Yeah, and then a lot of you probably are familiar with getting hit by the sniper up here. And then you can actually even get up here by jumping on these rocks. Not bump each other. You can jump on that little lip there and get there. So those are kind of some, I guess, key shortcuts that you can take advantage of. If you're using the Dead Ringer, they're probably going to see you. If you're using the IW, you have to be fast. CMD, you shoot them all day. On defense, it's really just your job to harass. A lot of times I like to kind of focus over here because the sniper and the demo will like to come up here and try to spam out your sentry. So you can add some support there. If you go in the tunnels when they're pushing the tunnels, it's very small, confined area, and a lot of times they'll just spam you out. And it's really easy to spy check, so I kind of avoid that. And then, like I said, on offense for this map especially, I think it's more important to get the entry and the sentry down. Whereas on defense, you're kind of going for those med hits. And then of course they kept the point. A lot of times on maps, I try to stay ahead of my team because it prevents them from setting up the next area, especially, you know, if the entry's still setting up, it's busy, so it's easy to get a pick. Whereas this first one, you don't have that advantage. So sometimes you can run up here, it's kind of hard. Other times, if I'm a little bit slow, I'll just finish capping, fill up, and sneak through the back. If your team's doing really well and they wipe them at the first point, encourage them. I think I've told you guys, some of you guys before, your job as team advisor, remind them about things. So if their team wipes, keep pushing and pull them off at the door. Like, you can spawn camp really well on this map if your team does it right. So then we go to the next point. Pretty much everybody holds roof. If they don't hold roof, they're not going to last very long. Roof is kind of the key point for your team to hold. This can be another easy area for them to guard. You have these stairs here too to remember. You can do like little trick stab deals. You can corner stab in here. If you have a good pyro, he's going to really be camping this area. It's really hard to get to. So like I said, if you can get him while he's setting up, that's ideal. There's actually these rocks back here. I should start by saying a lot of times you can't get to it. Spies will camp up on that little ledge and try to get shots, but you can't see very well. But these rocks that Puppy's jumping up to, you can usually see the sentry all the way across there, and you can shoot at the sentry or the MG. I mean, once you get one kill and it shows the death cam, your spot card won't. You all know the shortcut through here. I usually just take through the shortcut and try backstairs. If the pyro's camping out really well back here, I'll just cut through down here, and I'll try to add some support down here. Snipers like to sit here. It's a good place to pick them. Remember, most of these doors don't open until you capture the foresighting point. I usually cut through here just because a lot of times they'll be setting up in the house and still trying to hold the house. A good area to go and dig, try to get through. Once again on defense, sorry I didn't say that, on defense at the second point you're just kind of harassing. A lot of times I will watch the stairs, like I'll go around the back, try to make sure that like a sniper or other spies get in the back, and I'll try to run up the stairs in there. Maybe with like a med pick or just harass them, slow them down. If nothing else, just let your team know like, hey, they're pushing so that your team gets in position. Especially on this map, I forgot to mention that in the first point, is that it's a great map for pyros on defense. A lot of the maps, like the first ledge, you can just push their Uber right off, and if you do it right up here, you can keep them inside that room the entire time. So if you're on defense, you're going to want your team to Uber the pyro, and then the heavy will fall to kind of like the pyro spy checking position, so he'll be the one trying to kill you. So, like I said, a lot of times I cut through here, otherwise you can just run straight underneath. I would avoid this room with the windows if I were you, just because they like to camp it. This point here, some NGs like to build up over here. It's my favorite spot. I don't like it. I think the best spot is the window. Once again, if you're quick getting here, you can kill the NG while he's setting up. If not, and the pyro's just going to be sitting up there spamming more than likely. Right in this window here. You can try taking the teleport. This is also a good map for the teleport because it's so long. It's hard to stay invisible that long. You can try taking their teleport through. Otherwise, once again, always wait for the push. I think most of you are familiar with this little jump here. But I just want to remind you, it's one of the probably the most important jumps in the game. Any class can make it, and it's great for getting time with the team when you're on defense. Also in this window scouts, I think you can jump through that window in the boxes. There's where fixed right
Yeah,
here.
they can.
Yeah. A lot of snipers like to stand here. Remember, you can get up here to get behind the sniper, or if you're IW or CMB, you can hide back here so the combo walks by you. Hit. Once you get to this point, it can get pretty hard. The the usual sentry spot is right here. I almost never see anyone set up here because the heavy doesn't even have to be Ubered. You can just drop down through that window and wall right there. So the kind of ideal spot is in this corner over here. And once again, you have the stairs for getting out. I believe it's really tricky. You can walk across the ledge up here and jump over this rail. Do you know, Fixer? Then I fall.
Yeah, I don't think you can do that. At least I've never done it.
Which
I
one?
saw someone do that before, but maybe not. Scouts
Oh,
there.
no.
A lot of
You
pyro.
can't.
Okay. A lot of times the pyro will be up in here at first, and as they get pushed back more, they'll sit by the sentry. So keep that in mind. Otherwise, like the soldier will be around here. This isn't a bad way to come through. It's the longest but less traveled. Then once you're up here, a lot of times if they're holding up more, like at the corner, I've come through here and I've just done a little hop over this and gotten a med hit. Like, probably the most any other thing on this map has been right here. Otherwise, you have to try to finagle your way over here with the entry set up here. You can try CNDing, but the pyro's usually doing a little circuit, fighting everywhere here with the sentry. A lot of times they'll sneak back here and unstealth. However, that's pretty common. A lot of times, anybody who walks out from there, they check right away. Or if you need a place to unstealth down here, isn't that bad, as long as nobody comes out of spawn. I didn't come through this window, but if you come through up here, which is also usually heavily guarded, but if you can make it through here, you jump, you land on these stairs right about here, you won't take any fall damage. Also, I think most of you know, from this rail up here, you can actually jump up to that little deck. A lot of times snipers and MGs will build up there. And then up here is kind of the main area that they come out of spawn. The snipers over here, you can get a pick. Before this is open and that little sign things up here, sometimes you can get back here and camp them when they come out, you can get a pick. And the other spot for snipers is on the other side. I think that's pretty explanatory. Kind of a quick run through. Any this particular questions? Alright, Fixer, any input?
Well, I'm a C&D spy, so I'm all about relaying info to the team on where they're pushing, you know, what their Uber percentages, etc., etc. Maybe not terribly important on the last point here. I mean, it's pretty easy to tell if they're going map room or not. But when you're guarding roof over on point 2, you can be pretty valuable reporting their location, which way they're pushing.
Are there any set spots as a C&D spy that you like to camp that seem to be better spots that they don't tend to check?
On the last point here, I use these corners a lot right here. If they're passing through the point, I'll crouch, I'll go scout, crouch and decloak here. I like to go scout because it's got the small view model. They tend not to see it. So if they're just passing the point, I'll decloak here and go in for the stab.
The pyro is a spy.
As for up here, sometimes I like to chill out back here if they're pushing up the stairwell. If I know that they're coming this way, I'll come up here cloaked. And they'll be pushing in with an Uber, and if there's any stragglers, let's say they Uber the pyro on here, sometimes they'll leave the heavy go, and I'll take that opportunity to take out the heavy. So I generally like to stay up here a little bit. Watch them go by with an Uber. On the first point, I like to decloak right here as a C&D spy. If we're timing a sap and a sticky or a Uber or with a heavy, whatever, I like to decloak here and come up for my sap. And we come in. Sometimes if you can get back here, you got a sentry or a dispenser here. They generally don't expect the spy to decloak back here. I don't know. It's worked a couple times for me. Right here as well. They're usually on this platform or up there, and I'll crouch here and decloak, and then come up here.
I also decloak a lot underneath this stair ramp.
Yeah, it's my favorite spot because if they hear it, they're looking everywhere except for there usually for the spy. So I'll decloak there, maybe give it a few seconds, and then go up. At the beginning of the map, this is where I generally like to go. I'll sit up here, and I'll tell them where we're going. If there's anybody going left, I'll let them know. If the combo's going up top really quick, if there's a demo sticky jumping, I'll let them know that. I'm also in a great position. If a whole bunch go down in the tunnel, I can drop down behind them and stab them. If they're going up on the hill on the right, I'm in a quick, easy access to get right behind them. Another thing your scout should do is you go with milk on the beginning of the round. Tosses milk probably right about here. And hopefully you can hit the spy. That way you can slow their spy down.
While we're up here, the spot where Matt is standing, I've poked up there a lot. A lot of times people will check there. They spam rockets or stickies. And the spot that Fixer said, sometimes the soldier will jump there, so I usually stand right here. But, I mean, a lot of times he doesn't. It's kind of the same spot.
Yeah. But I think it's important to just let your team know who's going where. Sometimes you get teams that'll bum rush over on the top right, sometimes they'll bum rush tunnel, whatever. You just gotta let them know.
And something I don't say a lot is I think try to be a little bit more of a picking spy, but sometimes, especially like on this map, it's long and people pump up, it's really hard to get that pick. Recon can be just as important as getting an actual pick. So like, if you're having an off day and you just can't seem to get a pick, don't be afraid to sit back for a little bit, time your picks, and just let your team know what's going on.
I'm running circles around
Anything
you.
else, Mr. Fixer?
No, that's pretty much my philosophy is recon.
Alright, so I spoke, Fixer spoke. Now, Thad, what are your thoughts on this map as a pyro and things that you see that spies tend to do that stick out as pretty obvious to you?
Pretty much the opposite of what everyone just said as far as the spots. I usually try to get to cart first without getting picked by the sniper, and I usually come around here because those stupid spots. The pyro's decent. He'll actually flame on top of rock and things like that, so I guess you gotta know how good their pyro is and how insightful. That's about it as far as on offense. I'm not worried about the spy too much on offense other than on the cart. If I'm on the cart, I'm obviously pretty much going to be turned around in the opposite direction the majority of the time. Especially when coming under tunnel, I'm looking straight up and waiting for that drop, so gotta time it. As far as defending the sentry, we usually build, people usually build over here like you said. I'm usually standing right next to the sentry, and I do make sure to check behind me. People decide to decloak. It's usually not the best, but if you want to gamble for it, it's not bad if there's a bunch of distractions. But if there is Uber, the pyro will go and air blast their Uber, so that is the time to decloak. But yeah. It is difficult, like even if you do hear them decloak, it's pretty difficult for me to actually flame under there. So, yeah. That's about it for the first area. Can't really think of anything special for for up on the roof. It's pretty straightforward as far as a pyro, you know. I can pretty much control the whole area. That's about it. I always check above the doorway just in case. This is a bad spot if I'm running through here.
Yeah, I almost never go through here as a spot.
Yeah,
it's just,
it's not smart.
You're always bumping into people, and it's a death trap.
Yep. I see. You know, we're rounding this corner. I'm looking up. I'm looking stairwell. That's pretty much the only opportunity this spy has coming around this corner, or dropping down from up here. Usually when I turn this corner, assuming there isn't a sniper close, I'll be, you know, spraying this whole area. Up there too. That's about it. Let's see. Yeah, and then like you said, pyros, you know, I'm just gonna be sitting down here by the sentry for last. And I'll be probably watching here for spies. Maybe trying to get revolver kills or something. And dropping down. And if you do decide to decloak over here, it's not a good idea. Anyone running from over here is obviously extremely suspicious, so. That's about it.
I'm going to. The outcome
Reminder,
was never really a
depending on the pyro, like playing a good pyro, always be conscious of when you're picking up like ammo packs and health packs. Make sure they're not looking when you pick them up if you're going to. Otherwise, I mean, don't get yourself shot, but try to pick up like fallen weapons on the battlefield.
As far as decloak spots on the last point goes, a lot of spies like to use this stairwell, and I guess it's okay for stair stabs, but people on the best teams don't fall for stair stabs usually. I generally don't go in here because everybody always spy checks up in here.
It's easy.
So if they got sentry and whatnot down here, if I'm waiting for a push, I'll actually just use this right here. I'll cloak spy, get my thin view model, and I'll decloak here, so I'm right in on the action, and my guys are hopefully pushing in, distracting you, and I can stab. But I'll use those pillars with a thin view model of the spy to decloak.
Yeah, I usually pretty much only use the stairwell to get out.
Yeah, I don't like using stairwell. To escape it, yeah, okay, but it's just a death trap to me.
Yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. Just want to say again, like these stairs, and there's the stairs at the second point. Just remember, like, if you're jumping off of a high spot, remember, like, a lot of times you can just hit a stair, you won't take fall damage. And, you know, if you're using the high W, take fall damage or flash, or block.
Some assistance,
Alright,
please.
any other questions come up for me, Mixer, or Fathom?
At the very beginning for me, even though I'm a cloak and dagger spy, I'll actually go in Viswatch at the very beginning of this map on offense, because that's just such a long way through the tunnel or on the side there. Cloak and dagger isn't going to get you anywhere. You're going to run out before you can get to do anything. So I actually will go in Viswatch to start out, and then I'll switch over to cloak and dagger.
When I'm playing a good team that spy checks a lot, I will almost always go in Viswatch. Even sometimes on offense, but assuming the team is going to let you play around and your team has good presence on the field. On defense, I'll use the VR, but once again, I'll almost go in. Alright, short and sweet to the point. I think it's a pretty straightforward map. I don't remember what's next week or something like that. I'm not even familiar with that, but just I'm going to try doing this every Friday for anyone who wants to join. Anybody who has input too is welcome.
Just let's.
Things like that. I guess I'll wrap it up.
Alright.
Peachy.
So I just want to say thanks again, Picture, for showing up. Kind of last minute for you, and Fathom. Thank you as well, thank you, always. And we're using APU's mumble, so try
Just lay your weapon. What a disaster! I did all I could. I'm going to gut you.
Good luck with all of your matches this upcoming week. I know Pixar's actually playing demo now.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
And I'm a sub for QC right now. I'm told I'm playing Fathom tomorrow, so I probably could have just told them all my secrets.
They're not secrets, don't worry.
So,
There's nothing I haven't seen on this map.
Yeah, there's no secrets on Badwater, really.
right. Alright guys, thanks again.